YouTube, how the fuck you doing? Hey guys, Nadeshot today. I'm bringing a brand new video. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, but it's been about 2 months since I've recorded a Q&A, and you guys have been asking me so many questions on Twitter, so I finally got around to recording one. You guys asked some really good questions. Let's get straight into it. So this first question I've seen quite a few times, but I actually really like it, and I think it's the first time I've actually answered it. So Will Land asked, "Hi Dad, if you could have dinner with 3 people living or dead, who would you choose? Hashtag Ask Nate." So I have a really obvious number one answer for this question. If I could have dinner with anybody that was alive or dead, it would definitely be my mom. She passed away in 2012, and I was really young when she started getting sick, and she just wasn't herself for a lot of the years that led up to her passing away. So if I could just have one more conversation, just sit down and have dinner with her and just talk to her before she got sick, so I can have that image of her and that memory to hold with me for the rest of my life, that would mean the world to me. That'd be the best day ever. Now, I would love to give my number 2 spot to one of my favorite athletes, celebrities, actors, or actresses, or comedians, but I just can't do it. Like, the logical person in me has to give it to President Obama. He's been leading our country for about 8 years now, and I can't imagine the situations he's gotten himself into and had to persevere through. So it would be incredible just to sit down and pick somebody's brain that has led a country, and he probably has all these secrets and probably knows so much about the world that me, a common civilian, wouldn't know. So I would just love to sit down and ask him a few questions about his lifetime. Now, I put a lot of thought into this third and final person at the table, and since the question said whether he could be dead or alive, I kind of used a loophole for the question. I thought really long and hard about this. I was actually on the toilet going number 2, not on my couch, on the toilet, but I decided that if I were gonna sit down at dinner with my mom, President Obama, the third person without a doubt would have to be the smartest human being on the face of the planet in the year 3000, okay? That's almost another century from this day. And I can't imagine how much the world has evolved, including like technology, human beings, and animals. Just the entire universe and what we understand about it has to have progressed so much that if I could just sit down and pick the brain of the smartest human being on planet Earth, maybe even Mars if we get to that point where we've colonized another planet, anybody who has like the highest IQ, I would just love to talk to for an hour, just to find out more, just to get a glimpse of what the future is like, because I think about that all the time. I wish I could just fast forward and get a snapshot of what the future is going to be like. That would definitely be my top 3. My mom, President Obama, and the smartest human on the planet or planets in the entire universe in the year 3000. Brian DeLeon asked, "Nadeshot, what musicians are you jamming to most these days? Hashtag Ask Nate." So if you guys have ever watched my stream, you guys know I'm a huge hip hop fan, so I'm just gonna name off a few artists that I've been listening to lately in case you wanna look up their music. I'm sure if you guys listen to a lot of mainstream hip hop, you're gonna know every single artist I'm talking about, but just in case you don't follow the music too much, here is what I've been listening to today. So I've got Future on the playlist, I've got The Game, Travis Scott, The Weeknd, Drake, Montana 300. I've been listening to a lot of Post Malone lately. 50 Cent's new mixtape that came out a few weeks ago. A lot of Chief Keef, a lot of Logic, a lot of Wiz. He's got a new album coming out. Obviously Kanye with Swish is gonna be dropping really soon. And that's really kind of like my lineup right now. I had Mac Miller on repeat for a long time. He had a new album out which was really good. But I kind of just jump from artist to artist. Really like any mainstream hip hop artist, if they've come out with a good song or a good album, I'll always give it a chance. But I've also been kicking it back a little old school, a little different genre from hip hop. I've been listening to a lot of like Elton John, James Taylor. I've been listening to a lot of David Bowie's old stuff. He recently just passed away. So my musical taste kind of spread out through a lot of different genres, but it's mostly hip hop. So I see this next question a lot in my videos and in my comments, and I would love to just finally put this to rest. So listen up really closely. Houston So Cool asked, "Nadeshot, why do you change your intro and outro in your videos?" And honestly, the truthful answer is that sometimes I just get sick of saying the same thing over and over. There are days where I love saying, "YouTube, how the fuck you doing? Hey guys, Nadeshot." And then there's other days where I think it's really corny and I just want to start the video and be like, "Yo, what up guys?" Those are probably like the low energy days. But sometimes I really do just get sick of saying the same thing over and over at the beginning of my videos. I don't don't know if it's because I'm going crazy, but sometimes I really do think, YouTube, how the fuck you doing? Hey guys, Nadeshot. Today I'm bringing you a brand new video. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and think that is really, really corny. I'm just like, the 23-year-old in me is like, you gotta stop saying this. But then I wake up the next day, oh dude, I can't wait to start my video. YouTube, how the fuck you doing? Hey guys, Nadeshot. Today, you know, etc, etc. So it really is just depending on how I'm feeling that day. It's not for any specific reason. I'm not trying to screw with your guys' heads. It's just sometimes I get sick of it. I've been doing it for about 6 years now, and I like to switch it up a little bit. Next up, we have a question, and I'm so sorry if I butcher your name. I'm just gonna sound it out the way it looks. Arjun Patel. I'm sorry again if you watch this and I messed that up, but he asked a really fun question. If you had to swap your car with another YouTuber, who would it be and why? Now before we go any further, don't get it wrong. I love my i8 and I love my M3. I love the way the BMW is made. It's probably my favorite class of car that I've ever driven so far. But if I had to swap those out for anybody and with anyone, it would without a doubt have to be KSI. I am in love with his Lamborghini Aventador. That is by far the one car that I want to own and have in my possession at one point in time or another in my life. So without a doubt, KSI, you don't need any other explanation. The Aventador. It's the most insane looking, performance enhancing adjective, I'm literally lost for words when I think. I can't even scramble together a sentence when I think about the Aventador. I have to have it one day, so I gotta keep working hard. Hopefully you guys continue to like my videos and I maybe can invest my money and help it grow so one day I can own an Aventador of my own. Moving on to our next question, it's coming from Joshua Bear, and he wants to know a very simple question. Nadeshot, who is your favorite superhero? And this is somewhat tough because there are so many good ones. Off the top of my head, I've always loved the Wolverine from X-Men. I've always loved Spider-Man, Iron Man, The Flash. Those have all been fan favorites for me. But honestly, after seeing Deadpool, if you guys didn't know, you didn't see the vlog, I got to see Deadpool a month early before it even came out. I saw it about last week. It comes out in the first week or two of February. And I know Deadpool is an anti-hero, but it might be one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. So I would possibly have to say that I gotta give it to Deadpool. Like I said, I know he's not a characteristic hero. He's considered like an anti-hero. But after watching that movie, I think it might be pretty close. I think I'm leaning towards Deadpool. Next up, we have a really creative question, and I love it. It comes from MooTubeYT, and he wants to know, Nadeshot, if you had the chance, would you give up your i8, your BMW i8, for unlimited in-game currency for any game you've ever played? And I think he's referring to like COD points in Call of Duty, which no way in hell I would, but I thought about this and I thought of a little bit of a loophole. I would without a doubt trade in my BMW i8 for unlimited currency on CSGO. That means I could buy any skin I ever want. And if you guys have never played CSGO, they have this incredible in-game market system for skins and camos that you can put on your gun. And what you can do with those skins is actually sell them to websites and sell them to other people for real life money, cha-ching. So as a hustler and somebody who's always trying to make a better living for myself, I would without a doubt trade in my i8. I could make tens and thousands of dollars every single day just by selling the skins that I would buy for myself with that unlimited in-game currency. So we would have like 20 i8s at the end of the month. Without a doubt, I would sell and give away my car for in-game currency in CSGO. Also, can you just imagine? I would just be able to open up cases all day. It would be so much fun. It'd be the best. Now our last and final question is gonna come from Emily Helm, and I really like this one. She asked, if all expenses paid for a week's worth of travel were given to you and you leave tomorrow, where would you go? Now I'm sure a lot of people would jet over to the answer of somewhere in the tropics. You get a nice warm climate around you, sitting on the beach, sipping mojitos, getting a tan, hitting the ocean, whatever you might do when you go to a tropical vacation. But for me, as I really thought about it, I would really love to go somewhere really north or really south. Well, I'm not too, I think it might be only in the north where you can see Aurora Borealis, and I'm not sure if you guys know exactly what that is, but it's called Aurora. It's basically like the lights in the sky. If you go to a high enough latitude, I believe, where like North Pole, or if you go to Greenland or Finland, I don't know exactly where I would have to go to see it, but I'm sure you guys have saw on YouTube or on TV or in movies the green lights that shine in the sky in certain parts of the world at night, and it's caused through like the magnetic field of the earth getting hit with like solar winds, I believe. But just seeing that in person would be incredible. I love the snow. I would love to just hang out, kick it in an igloo, and just enjoy the sights that the earth and the universe are offering in front of us. So for me, that's definitely where I would go if I had the opportunity. Real quick sidebar, my man Hank Basket, really good friend of mine, asked me, when are you gonna be taking the whips to see Self-Made Ryan at West Coast Customs? If you guys have never seen the TV show back in the day, there is an incredible body shop out here. It's world class, world famous. It's West Coast Customs. They used to have exhibit on the show, and I still think that they do a show on Fox Sports. But he asked me, when you taking the whips to go get them worked on and wrapped up from these guys at West Coast Customs? And I'm ready. If we keep the i8, the M3, whatever we get in the future, I definitely would love to stop by West Coast Customs. They're only like an hour away from where I live. I would love for them to trick out the rides and give you guys a glimpse of what they would look like on my YouTube channel. Alright guys, another Q&A is in the books. Really quickly, I'd like to thank everyone that submitted questions on Twitter using the hashtag AskNade. They were really creative this week. Sometimes these can be difficult to do because you get the same redundant questions over and over and over, and for me, I don't want to give you guys the same answers to questions you guys have heard a million times. So thank you. Thumbs up, high five for being creative. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Go check out my second channel if you guys want to see some Call of Duty action for today if you didn't get your fix with this video. But I hope you guys have a good one, like I said, and you too. We'll see you fudging later. Goodbye.